Hello guys, my name is Alex Gomez and welcome back to Easy 3D. On today's video we're going to be lighting this character. I just brought this character from Zbrush, imported. If you want to see how I import my workflow from importing from Zbrush to Blender, check out this video. And after that you will see how I do my importing stuff. So now that I have this character right here, I'm going to split my screen. So I'm going to use this one for the camera, this one for my perspective, and this one here for my shading, just to split it up. Okay, so here I'm going to change this mode to shading editor. I'm going to go in this one to view, camera, active camera. But before that, I'm going to go to my output properties. I'm going to change this to 1080 by 1080. I'm going to change my render engine to cycles and device GPU compute because it will be faster. So go to camera, active camera, press N, go to view and lock your camera to view. So now you can just move your camera. Press N to get rid of that menu, pop-up menu. So just kind of like put your camera how it's kind of like supposed to. Select your camera, go here in camera. I'm going to change the focal length to 85. And let's get kind of like a nice chop, probably. Nice angle right there. Right there in my camera, I just go here and I kind of like click all of these. So if I move it, for example, I can just go back to the camera that it is. So it's kind of like setting a key in the first frame. So if I move it, I can just go back to where my camera is. Perfect. So that being said, I'm going to start like assigning a couple of materials and some lights. So first off, it's going to go to the body. And it comes with this materials array setup, but I just kind of like delete them and I just create a new material. And I'm gonna do the same for each one here. A new, eyelashes, delete a new, eyes, delete and new. I didn't create the one. Okay, let's do with the head, delete a new, the head, delete a new. The hoodie, delete, a new, the mask, delete, a new, mask eyes, delete, a new, and the necklace, delete, a new. Okay, so now I have a new material for each one. No, the one that kind of like comes by default with the import. So now that I have that, I can just start adding some lights. So I'm gonna press Shift A. And I'm going to add area light. So this is my area light. So I'm going to move my area light right here, right there. And normally I get my area light kind of like this area. This is going to be my key light. And to see what I'm going to do, I'm just going to scroll this with middle mouse click. And I'm going to go into my render here. Render view. Okay, so I'm supposed to start seeing some rendering here, which is helping right there. But I have a lot of environment all around, so I'm going to change this object to world. And in the world, the background, I'm going to put this to 0. And then now I can see like a better lighting effect. The power, I'm going to increase the power to 50, probably more, 100. And let's move it this side like that, so I can just get more of a light in this part and a shadow in here. Let's bring this up to 150. Sometimes you have to go a little bit higher than that. Let's move it. It's a matter of kind of like being patient with this. And let's go to 100. Probably a little bit higher to 50. And probably around there will be fine. So I have this light here. I'm gonna change the shape. I like to work with with disc shaped lights. Okay, so let's duplicate this one, and I'm gonna move it to the side, right there, and this is gonna be my fill light. It's gonna move it here, bring it in this side, around there. And my fill light, I'm just gonna get the power or the intensity of the fill light way lower than that. Just a little bit of fill, so probably around 50. And then I'm gonna get a rim light. So I'm gonna duplicate that light with Shift D, and I'm going to get it right in the back, right here. Sometimes I just go like something like this. And if you want to see what each light is doing, for example, let's turn this one off, and now I can see what my rim light is doing. I'm gonna increase this to 150, around that. That's probably too much, so let's move it here, let's move it back. I just want a little bit of the rim. That area. Let's go with the fill one, and let's go with the key one. Key, fill, and rim. Okay, so in this one I might just go a little bit higher and bring it down, so I can get this part here and there. I like to do the lighting first before I start hooking up the materials. Okay, so that's looking much better. This is kind of like a 3-point light techniques. And if I want to get some bounce right here on the bottom, I'm just gonna create a plane. So let's press Shift A, Mesh, and Plane. Scale the plane up. I'm gonna go to the properties here of the plane. Visibility and ray visibility. I'm just gonna turn it off in the camera. I don't want to see it in the camera at all, but still it's gonna give me diffuse transmission and shadows, so it's bouncing. So if you can see here, it makes it spills some of the light bounces and goes up, and it's filling me up a little of these parts here. Okay, so now that I have kind of like my light setup, I'm gonna add HDRI. So I have my background here, and make sure that you guys have the Node Wrangler activated. So go to Edit, Preferences, and right here go to Node Wrangler and check this on. Okay, so with the Node Wrangler activated, you're just gonna press Ctrl T, and it's gonna bring this the mapping, texture coordinates, and the file input. So in the file input, just open, and I'm gonna go to my HDRIs, and I get all my HDRIs from Polyheaven. And I normally use this one to get my kind of like my environment, but now the strength is at 0, so I can just turn off my lights and turn the strength on. That's probably too much. 0.1. I can just probably go 0.05 just to give a little bit of an ambience. Now that I have that ambience, I have to make sure that I turn my other lights on, but I see this in my background, so I'm gonna go here in this icon, the word properties, ray visibility, and turn it off in the camera so I don't see that. Then I'm gonna go with my camera properties in the render properties or scene properties, and I'm going to go to the film, and in film I'm gonna go to transparent, and it's gonna turn this off so I can just add a background that I want to kind of like do in Photoshop or whatever. Okay, now that I have that, I'm gonna change this world to object mode, to the object. Okay, I'm gonna start adding kind of like some colors and materials. So for the face, I already exported a texture from Zbrush. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna select my principal BSDF, I'm gonna press Ctrl T, and I'm going to bring, there you go, my node wrangler, and it's going to bring my files. I'm gonna look for my file. So this one is the face PNG. Open. Perfect. And I'm gonna do the same with this one, the body. Ctrl R. And let's get that. Sorry, Ctrl T. Do Ctrl R. And let's go open. And let's bring the body as well. Okay. But that's not it. I'm just gonna get like the skin tone that I really want to get. So I'm gonna select this, the face or the head material. I'm gonna go here to materials. I'm gonna get my subsurface probably around 0.06. This all depends on your scale of the scene. Subsurface radius is gonna be 2.75. Subsurface color is gonna go to red. And I have the specular all the way up, roughness 5, probably you can go 0.55. My chin tint is gonna be at 0.35, clear coat all the way up, and the clear coat roughness 2.5, and the IOR is gonna go to 1.55. And that's gonna give me a really nice, kind of like a stylized skin shader. Okay, so let's add some denoise so you guys can see in this part better here. Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna add the same settings to the body here as well. So go back to the body, and I'm gonna add the same settings. 6. This is gonna be red, and this is gonna be 0.75. Specular all the way up, roughness 0.55, chin 0, chin tint 0.35, clear coat all the way up, and the roughness of this 0.5, and the IOR, the index of refraction, is going to be 1.55. Perfect. And that's going to give me a really nice shade to it. And these are kind of like, I have like the body and the mask, the only ones that have textures. The other one is gonna be like a plain colors to it. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm gonna work in the mask. So I have the mask here. So what I'm going to do now, instead of pressing Ctrl R or Ctrl T, I'm gonna press Ctrl Shift T in this one. So it's gonna open a full folder. So in this folder, I'm just gonna go to text, and I have here the maps that I created in Substance Painter for the mask. So I'm gonna select all of them, and this is gonna create automatically setup for all my mask here. So with all the maps and everything. Well, I have to try it again. It didn't work this time. Let's go and text 3 and principal. There you go. So it connects everything for me. That's all the job for me there, which is nice, which is pretty nice too. Okay, I think that like in my lighting here, I want to increase the lighting here. So I'm just gonna press change the power 350, a little bit higher, which is good. And this one is just gonna get it lower. So let's go 10. I want that part way darker. The same as the world. I want the world like way darker as well. I think it's kind of like there's not too much contrast in it, so I don't like to work with not that. I like kind of like my image to be very contrasted in light, 0.01, and that's much better. Okay, perfect. So let's go back to the materials, change this world to object, and I'm gonna go with the hair, and this is gonna be plain simple, kind of like purple, dark purple like that. This one, normally I get the roughness up around there, but sometimes a little bit of roughness, it doesn't hurt. So probably around there. The eyebrows definitely another color here. Is gonna be pretty much similar color than the hair. So let's pick the color there and get the specular down, the roughness all the way up. Maybe the specular not as much. Let's keep a little bit of specular here. Something like that. Let's make this brighter. Kind of like closer to the hair color. Okay. Now the eyelashes, this is gonna be just plain black. Or like not that black, but kind of like dark. And I'm going to go the roughness all the way up and specular down. Okay. For the cloth, the hoodie, that's just plain white as well, roughness way up, because it's kind of like a cloth. And let's change this to something like grayish, like this. Get the specular up a little bit, kind of like this wider, around there. I think this is good. Perfect. Now I'm gonna get this necklace that is gonna be kind of like a metallic. Little bit, so let's bring this up and I'm getting that metallic, and let's go this here. The roughness, I'm gonna bring it down, make it like a shinier. Okay, and I can just bring the anisotropic a little bit, so it kind of like bends that specularity a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Let's go with the eyes. So for the eyes, definitely the roughness is gonna be all the way down, so I had like a really shiny eyes. There you go, perfect. And for the eyes, I didn't have any maps for it, but I had like a vertex color information for my original one. So here I can just press Shift A, search, and vertex color. Okay, so the color is gonna go to the base color. And it's gonna give me like a little bit of gray right in the middle of the eyes right there. Okay. Perfect, that side. And now I need to do kind of like the eyes of the mask here. So for the eyes of the mask, I'm going to get this to blue, kind of like this blue here. I'm going to increase the specular, the roughness is gonna be down. And I'm going to get emission, and the emission is going to be that color as well. Okay, perfect. Still find that this is a little bit darker, and if I make the light bigger, my shadows are going to be super soft, so I rather just increase the power to it. So let's go to 500 watts in there. Try even more, 750. And I think that's looking much better. So what I'm gonna do now is just going to add a little bit of color of those lights. So I'm just gonna go to select my key light, I'm gonna go to color and add a little bit of a warm color right there, around there. Then with this one, I'm gonna add a cold color, or a cooler color, kind of like a blue tint of blue. For this one, that one it's okay like that, I guess. But in this case, I really want to increase this one way more. Still find that it's a little bit dark, so let's go to probably 900. Intensity and reduce the warmth a little bit more. So let's go with the saturation lower. Okay, and this plane is like just like a super black, like just white plane. So I'm just gonna create a new material here, and I can just kind of like get like a dark purple. So it kind of like it brings that color purple just in this part. So if you see like around the sheen, like how it changes, like when you change the colors. So something that kind of like a complements to it, which I don't mind. It's kind of like a red, a little bit of red there. I'll make it a little bit darker, so it's not that much. Okay, perfect. So that's pretty good. And you can just press F12 to get your render going. and you're all done to save this with transparency. Bring it to Photoshop, do some color correction, and then just post it on your social media. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope that this video was very helpful for you, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share with your friends that are interested in getting this type of knowledge. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok and all the social media that is included below. And take care and have an amazing weekend, guys. See you next Friday. Bye.